KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr. Brought to you by Hollister Whitney.
This is Saturday, September the 21st. Happy Earth, Wind, and Fire Day for those of you who celebrate, and you have indeed entered overtime tonight. Now, we attempt to put the finishing touches on what has been an utterly sensational football weekend, ignited by one of the most eventful Friday night slates in years around here, with a couple of developing college gridiron narratives that might well pique your interest from here on out as well, including a rather eye-popping start to the Jason Kilday era for Quincy University Hawks football tonight for the first time since 1998. And I still had a full head of luxurious hair back in 1998. The Quincy University Hawks are winners tonight in Rolla. It took a comeback for the Hawks to do so. 21-14 your final. Two late touchdown passes from Drake Davis get that done. 2-0 officially now for the Hawks, and man, what a nice and nifty start that is, and what a change on the narrative for Quincy University Hawk football, at least to this point. The news not so good for the new regime tonight over in Kirksville, while we're on the subject of GLVC scores, as Truman State loses on the road to Saginaw Valley State. 34-17 was your final. Illinois College coming off a loss last week to Lake Forest, making their home debut against Ripon today. What would transpire over in the Ville today? The home opener would start off in good stead in this one. Tanner Spencer, the pride of Rushville Industry, with a big run right here to lead his team into the red zone, but a missed field goal would leave the Blue Boys coming away with nothing. The defense, though, stout early on. Check out Derek Jones, not credited with the safety. Looks like he deserved it. Ends up with a tackle at the 1-foot line. You know what? From that point forward, Ripon would move the ball a little bit, but Drake Stewart is there for the nifty pass breakup, and Illinois College would get the ball back again. Again, it is Tanner Spencer from Rushville Industry with the big carry here. They did not update the stats page yet at Illinois College, so no idea what he rushed for today, but this drive resulted in a punt as well. The defense good, though, right here. It's the pride of Quincy Notre Dame. Connor McDowell with the tackle for loss to force another punt from Ripon. They could get nothing going, and here comes the offense for the Blue Boys, the vaunted offense. It's destined chance, just in case you want a chance in this one, down to the 1-yard line. And rather than plunge it in from there, how about a little throwing action? Because that's what IC does. To the air, hook it up with the All-American Cullen Brunstein for the 1-yard touchdown. It's 7-0. Next, Ripon possession. Man, this was fun and nifty to watch, and certainly sensational. 7-worthy. Ball gets batted away by Derek Jones. Cam Daly on the scoop and score, and ain't nobody gonna catch him. Fantastic touchdown for him right there. Extends the lead at that point to 14-0, but the Blue Boys are not done yet, making things happen in this one. How about Garrett Bearden working some defensive fun off the edge right here? Gonna continue to apply the pressure to Ripon, and the defense is going to be really, really good, as this is going to result in a punt attempt from deep back into their own end zone. And you know what that's going to result in? That's going to result in this nifty play. A blocked punt caught midair by Zachariah Weiss for the touchdown at that point. Made it at that point 20-0. You know what? Illinois College never looks back in this contest and wins big today, bouncing back from that loss to Lake Forest. 44-14 was your final. In other college football today, Culver Stockton is now 0-4 on the season. Rough loss yet again, this one on the road at nationally ranked Baker. 61-7 is your final. It's sprint football as Quincy University made its home debut today, and man, it is the pride of Highland High School. Chance Newton staking his team to an early 13-0 lead, breaks about 6 different tackles to get into the end zone in this one, and then the defense trying to make that stand up. How about the former Palmyra alum, or he's still currently a Palmyra alum, former Palmyra star Noah Gatz coming off the edge right here, trying to set the tone defensively, and he do so rather effectively with the quarterback sack at this point. That's good stuff. And then how about a little more defense at the back end from the secondary? Jaden Scott, another name familiar to fans of football here in the Gem City. Nifty job by him at that point. However, here comes the comeback attempt from St. Mary of the Woods. It's Deveron Johnson, a 28-yard touchdown strike at this point. You know what? Quincy University would answer back in this one. Trevon Hegler-Wright going to do his thing on the nifty run right here to re-extend the lead, but unfortunately, Quincy University's sprint football team could never really keep that momentum today and could not stop St. Mary of the Woods once they got a full head of steam up. And Quincy University loses the home opener and falls to 0-2 on the season with a 48-26 defeat today. We have high school football to talk about. Let's wrap up week number 4. And as I mentioned, it was a good one today. Routt Catholic taking on Beardstown for homecoming. And yeah, nothing like Cotton-Eyed Joe to get things hopping in the Ville today. Auspicious start for Routt. Kellen Creviston to the air. Going to hawk up with Mr. Brown right there. Beautiful catch at that point. That's going to set up this. Creviston again, the honorable mention All-State quarterback. Man, he puts this where no one but Jace Lodeman could get it. And Jace does exactly that. 7-0 Rockets at that point, but we're not done quite yet, not by a long shot. Beardstown about to answer back immediately. Beardstown came into this game through 3 games with just 6 total points. Ethan Heller trying to change that effectively with a 38-yard run, and this splash into the end zone, including a 2-point conversion, made it 8-7 in favor of Beardstown. No upset brewing, however, in the Ville today. Check it out right here. One of the fastest guys in the WIVC. Charlie Allen, away he runs. 68 yards to pay dirt in this one. And at that point, it was 13-8, and that's when the monsoon hit at the end of the first half in Jacksonville. It was bad. Wind blowing everywhere, rain everywhere. Good stuff right there by Mr. Lodeman at the back end of this, but he stepped out of bounds at that point. Routt has a big second half in this one and closes things out to improve to 3-1 on the season. They end up scoring 27 unanswered points in the second half, playing some good defense as well behind Trey Gauze, as Routt Catholic gets the win today. 41-8 was your final in that contest. We had 8-man football taking place today as well. Defending state champion Amboy in the house taking on BPC, and it was all Amboy all the time in this one. They are legitimately good. 58-22 your final. The Spartans are now 2-2 on the season. Hey, we're not doing you justice if we don't take a look back at last night's epic and history-making win by Quincy Notre Dame. We've got some alternative highlights for you last night from Jack Cornell's Raiders, courtesy of our friends at 1450.com, and away we go in this one. Here's that flea flicker from a different angle, and man, at the back end of this, Hunter Schuckman. Actually, that, my friends, was Wyatt Mueller hooking up right there with Gavin Dolman, who had a monster night. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions for Mr. Dolman, and yeah, what a night for Wyatt Mueller, as he was part of 5 touchdowns on the night. 68-yarder at that point. Mid-second quarter, they hand off to Oliver Triplett. Man, with Ivan Hoon hurt, that's a nice luxury to have. Gets the ball down near the 20. A few plays later, it is Wyatt Mueller calling his own number. He did this effectively, and he hit the boundary in the corner and scored there to extend the Raider lead at that point out to 12-0. A bad snap on a punt attempt for the Cyclones will set QND up yet again in this one. Mr. Triplett is there to help make things happen for Quincy Notre Dame, and there's Wyatt Mueller on the take into the end zone for the plunge, and the score at that point extending the lead out to 18-0. SHG, their only score of the game, will come actually off a Quincy Notre Dame miscue. A fumble pops loose. They get a short field, and on the back end of this one, it's going to be Cam Brinkman to Seamus O'Brien for 24 yards to get on the board before halftime at 18-7. But man, Quincy Notre Dame was having none of it from that point forward. A history-making night as Quincy Notre Dame announces its presence in the Central State 8 West bracket with authority. Check out Gavin Dolman yet again. Check out Wyatt Mueller with the throw. Man, you know what? Gavin Dolman is having, get off me. Yeah, that's right. 37-7 your final for Quincy Notre Dame. One of the biggest splash wins anywhere in the state of Illinois. Does it shuffle things for the KHQA Power Poll? Hard to put Quincy Notre Dame ahead of the teams that are still undefeated. Toyed with putting them ahead of Camp Point Central, but again, both Central and QND's losses are to powerhouse teams that are state ranked. In fact, in Central's case, #1 in the state right now with Hardin Calhoun. So resisting that urge, but we did leapfrog Central Lee this week, up ahead of Rushville Industry and a couple of other teams, just based on the fact that that Davis County win last night, 21-14, signifies that Doug Dodd's team isn't just like they were last year, a team that was going to start 3-0 and peter out. No, the Hawks, my friends, are very much for real, and we saw that last night. And man, what a nice and nifty storyline that is developing in Southeast Iowa as well. Again, we'll flesh this out for you completely, explain all of our logic when Duerisms drops a little later this week. I'm excited to write Duerisms this week. Week 4 was a joy and a treat. Unfortunately, soccer today for the Quincy squads was not a joy or a treat for either of them. Quincy Notre Dame on the road at that normal community powerhouse today. Ryland Fisher with the only goal of the day for the Raiders as they end up losing 7-1. Quincy High School takes on that stacked Glenwood squad and can't get off a goal against them. 3-0 your final there. And my friends, we are just getting warmed up here on the big overtime show. We've got volleyball coming your way. Macomb still undefeated. Man, they ran a gauntlet to continue that today. Also, some nifty developments on the golf course today for the Quincy Notre Dame Lady Raiders. And yes, we've got softball aplenty from North Shelby, all when overtime continues.
This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, brought to you by Hollister Whitney.
Welcome back, true believers, to Overtime. Drove a long way today to Aledo to see volleyball between Macomb and Western. The Wildcats apparently got the good early wake-up call. It's the freshman yet again, Paisley Patterson. She's really good, getting the point in early. 2-1 Wildcats. Here comes Macomb. They are unbeaten, and you will see why quickly. It's Jackie Adair with all that verticality, letting fly and making a statement early. And then from the back line, Kat Lukarinen. Man, this is a nifty little ace that just floats and finds the floor for her. But Emma Dixon and Western, they would fire back, and they would answer back effectively right here. Side out to the Lady Wildcats, thanks to Miss Dixon. But here comes Macomb answering the answer, if you will. Kelly Ladd, it's her turn to rear back and fire. She does exactly that with some authority right there. How about Jordan Hines? Really kind of a quietly neat piece that's been added to the puzzle in this particular case for Bree Rexroth. And right there, you see her make her presence felt. Speaking of the Rexroths, it is the master tactician at center. That's Quinn Rexroth with a nifty little center dump right there. More service fun from the Lady Bombers as Kate Stortzum serves up an ace in this one. Western's Riley Harris is going to try to turn the tide late in this first match of the day, and she would get the nifty little tap in at the expense of Macomb defense. Jackie Adair and company just too strong. Macomb not only wins this match, but as we go to the scoreboard, they beat Western 21-9, 21-8. They also just ripped through the entire bracket today to improve to 15-0 on the season. In the championship match, it was Macomb taking down Mercer County. Jackie Adair had 8 kills in that one. Macomb, one of the great storylines in tri-state area volleyball right now. Some other championships going on out there today. The Rochester Cluster, which was just actually 2 matches for Quincy Notre Dame. Very effective wins for the Lady Raiders, including a very good one in 3 sets against a very good Metamora squad there. At the Pretzel Classic today, the Southeastern Lady Suns tasted defeat for the very first time this season at the hands of your eventual champs, Athens, but the Lady Suns get the win in 3 in the 3rd place game over a very good Hardin Calhoun squad. Also today, check out Menden Unity, which is catching a little bit of fire for Seth Klusmeyer late in the season. Big win over Rova Williamsfield in the championship, but also today, Unity beat Gelva, Princeville, and Anawan to kind of get some nifty momentum a brew there. Let's do some golf today. Macomb Invitational, Quincy Notre Dame. The storyline here is Belle Boudreau, and why not? Her front 9 was absolutely scintillating in this one. I joined her on hole number 8. Right here, this is her second shot on the par 3. Gives herself a shot at par. She's 1 under for the front 9 at this point, and oh yeah, Belle was locked in with a flat stick. She's going to drain that. She's not done. She nearly reached the green on the par 5 9th in 2 today, and ends up with a birdie putt right here from distance after flying the green just a little bit. She'd save par from there as well. All part of a round of 76 today. She was your medalist by 3 strokes. And again, she finished the front 9 and 1 under. That's some really good doing. Her teammates really good as well. The freshman Natalie Druffel here at number 8. She fired a 79 on the day, which was good for a 2nd place individual tie. Also showing out today, the other freshman, the lefty Nancy Scholes, who ended up with a 84 today. And it's from Miss Nancy. Good stuff from Miss Schultz in that one. And then, how about Meredith Eversman as well? Not her best day, but she ended up pulling it back together after a kind of a wonky start to the front 9 with an 82, good for a 5th place finish. That's 4 Lady Raiders in the top 6 if you're keeping count. That is good for a 321, 16 strokes better than Monmouth United in 2nd place. As we go to the team scores, pretty good day all the way across the board. We had good stuff as well from Quincy High School showing out today. Also, Illini West putting together some good scores in this one. You know, and Macomb, the host school, finishing in the top 6 as well. As we take a look at the low locals that didn't involve Quincy Notre Dame, what of a heck of a day for Miss Mosley today, as Alexa leads the charge for Quincy High School for their big finish today. Good stuff for Brinley Tibbetts as well from Macomb on the home sod with an 87, good for 10th place individually. Hannah Williams in the field from Pittsfield, always good with an 88. So some good scores all the way across the board. Need to mention that Illini West with their best team score of the year so far as well. So congratulations to the Chargers on that. All right, time now to do opening round softball action from North Shelby. We'll start with the host squad against Bevere to start the day off on the right foot. And it is who else? Addie Allmeyer with the RBI double to tie this up at 1 apiece, and that was just sort of the start to the way things would go the rest of the day. Same inning, it's Harper Copenhaver. She's going to score on a wild pitch to extend the Lady Raider lead at this point to 3-1. They're still not done. How about some nifty work in the circle from Clara Allmeyer? She's going to get the strikeout to start the game off, or the inning off, right. Then Allmeyer's going to add another strike, this time the backwards K, as she nails the batter looking at this particular point. And one more down on strikes in this one as she strikes out the side. Pretty effective use of her pitches for the youngster right there. She's also going to help her own cause here, scoring on a wild pitch to extend the lead out to 4-1. Big win for North Shelby to open the day. 11-1 was your final in that contest. Meanwhile, Mark Twain opening the day, taking on Marion County. This on field one as well, and what a way to start. Man, we've talked a lot about her, and deservedly so. Bronwyn Harding is a absolute beast with this shot. Over the fence, home run for her. 3-0 Mark Twain before you could even blink in this one. You know what? Marion County trying to threaten back in this one. Check out the defense coming up by Adeline Means, and you know Adeline means business as she comes up with the nifty scoopage right here to make that out stand up and end the inning at 3-0. Top of the second, it's Emmy Lane time. She's going to score on a bad throw right here, make it 4-0 at this point in favor of the Mark Twain Lady Tigers. Same inning. Miss Harding again going to plate 2 more runs in this one as Bronwyn finds the ball low in the strike zone and just kind of gulps a pitching wedge out there to extend the lead out to 6-0 and would score on a bad throw. Really good day for Mark Twain as they end up winning this one 15-1 and would advance all the way to the 3rd place game. More on that in a second. Let's check in with the early day action between Scotland County and Van Far in this one. It was Scotland County with the bases loaded. Excuse me, and a walk right here is going to score Madison Buford as Scotland County takes the lead at that point. Your next batter in this one is Delana Gay, and she's going to get the out at home, well, the grounder back to get the out at home for Van Far as Van Far gets out of the jam right there. But Scotland County would add some fun right here. Quinn Hamlin, who hit another home run today, has a 2 RBI single right here to extend the lead out to 7-4, and Scotland County really never looks back in this contest. They get the win today and get the chance to advance 7-4 to take on the top seed in the affair, Paris. And we have highlights of that one for you as well as we go to that game, Paris and Scotland County. Paris has been one of the great surprises of the early season. 2 on for Scotland County. Reese Sutton forces the grounder to get out of trouble at this particular point, and that's good stuff right there as well. Very next inning, Sutton would try to escape again. First, she gets the K swinging right here. Then Madison Buford hits an RBI single for Scotland County. Paris, however, still led in this one 6-3 at that point, and they'd add on to that very quickly in this one. Kennedy Aschenfelter is going to step up and score on a drop fly ball first to extend that lead out to 7-3. Then it's Hope Sutherland time as she's going to drive in 2 more runs with a deep double coming up here off the wall that extends it out to 9-3. So a huge win today for Paris in that one, 13-3 to push their way into the final championship bracket. And as we take a look at scores today, it would be Paris ultimately taking down North Shelby in the championship game in that one. 2-1 is your final. The Lady Coyotes are your North Shelby tournament champs. Mark Twain, what a day for Mark Twain. They end up finishing 3rd, 15-5 their win over Scotland County. Jenna Ross today, 4 for 4 at the plate in that game. She was 11 for 11 in her at-bats with 7 hits. She never failed to reach base the entire day. It's a pretty rare and awesome feat. So awesome stuff from Miss Jenna Ross. She also stole 8 bases on the day. None too shabby there as well. Also need to mention today at the Putnam County Tournament, Macon runs the table, beating Clark County today in the semifinals, and then getting a big win over Putnam County, the host squad, to get the championship. Peyton Weimer with a no-hitter in that one. And we'll have more overtime coming your way straight after this.
This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr, brought to you by Hollister Whitney.
The future of Tri-State softball is also very bright. Two state qualifiers today at the junior high level in Class 2A. Winchester West Central is going to the Elite Eight with a big win over Rushville Industry. And Pleasant Hill, oh, the fun is going to continue for the Lady Wolves. At the 1A level, they end up with a big win over Liberty to punch their ticket to state as well. Two quick soccer scores to pass along at the college level. The Culver Stockton women with a big showdown tonight with Baker. Fall 3-2 was your final in that contest. A score just called in. Baker wins on the men's side over the Wildcats. 2-0 was your final. And we'll have more overtime straight ahead.
This is KHQA Overtime with Chris Duerr. Brought to you by Hollister Whitney.
It has been a heck of a week around here, not just football on many different fronts. We've been all over the place, and because of that, we have been rewarded with maybe the best sensational seven we've probably had in a full year. That's coming your way on Monday, and that just kicks off a really big week. Got some ambitious plans for you with some conference golf coming up this week. Obviously, a huge night of football coming up on Friday. So much more next Saturday. It just never ceases to be fun around here. This is a wonderful time of the year, and we've got some wonderful stuff coming your way. So we can't wait to get that to you. Again, I need to remind you all that we are actually just a week away from the start of Student Athlete of the Week. So if you need to make a nomination form, if you have someone in mind, senior 3.5 GPA or better, get it to us this week because we can't wait to start that feature a week from Wednesday.